All right. So we're good inside of SketchUp. I suppose I can just save that model, and then I'll maximize my Lumion screen. And now we need to split the screen, and we want to share it with a Google image search. So we're just going to do that same trick here where I kind of drag that window to the left side of my screen, select Lumion to share the screen, and then I can even kind of compress these down a little bit. And let's see, let's do that kind of drag again like that. All right, so then the first plant that I'm going to look for, I suppose, I'll just track down this tree. Maple, let me just type in maple Ganali flame, like that. So it started coming up, and then I'll just go to my images, and let's see what we've got. So you just pick one, and then you can use your arrow key and just kind of scoot across. And I guess what I'm looking for is, obviously this is a very red tree. It doesn't have like a true trunk to it. It's kind of like a bunch of trunks that, well, kind of split out low. So that's the form that I'm looking for. All right. So over here in Lumion, I would go to my object library, and I'd be on the place tool, and then I'll go to nature. All right, so now, instead of like searching, I guess I could search maple. That this one does have a search term that I know will at least come up, and just see if there's like any sort of maple that actually is red. So like we have a Japanese maple, but that's not the right form. These guys are red, but again, it's not the right form of the tree. So this is what I find typically. I just see that, it's kind of hard to make, to rely on that search. And so sometimes you get lucky, but honestly, for the most part, I just go to my trees and I start sorting through, and something like that is close, but it's not really the right color. And you can adjust the color a bit, although I don't like to do that. Let's just keep rolling through and just click next, looking for a red tree, something like that is kind of close. And also let's take a quick look at a setting here. So in my settings, I want to make sure that my use large thumbnails are on. See if they're off, you get these like tiny thumbnails here. So let's see. Yeah, that's kind of hard to see what's going on. So make sure that in your settings, you've got your large thumbnails on. And I actually forget if that's like a default, let's see, broadleaf. Yeah, if it's a default setting or not. So I'll skip forward a few. I know that we already looked at these, and let's see, we'll keep on going and find something that's red. That's close. And another thing you can do is, that's our Japanese maple. You can actually sink that like into the ground. That's another trick. But I'm pretty, yeah, that one's pretty close. I might just drop that in and just see if that kind of matches the look. And we're not going to use a pink tree. Oh, look at this one. That one's going to be it. All right. So yeah, see, and you just kind of take a look at them and compared. And although the leaves on this one are kind of a strange look, almost like I don't know what those are, but in general, the form and everything about it shows the way I want it to. All right, so I'll drop that one in there too. And you know what, let's just keep rolling to see what else, just in case there's like, some hidden perfect tree towards the end of our collection. I'll skip through a few more. Nope, we're good. All right, so at this point, I guess I would hit M, and that's gonna flip me over to that select tool. And then you could make the decision, like, do I want to take this tree and scale it? So I can use my scale tool and kind of shrink it down a bit, because it wouldn't be so big like that. I think would be probably about right, maybe a little bigger. So you can either use this one or you can use this one. And when I'm looking at these, I mean, let's just skip a few. You don't want to go to, this one actually has the correct leaves. And I don't know if, it seemed like most of them were like this. So I don't know. It can go either way. But like I said, earlier, it's just an artistic representation. And if I look at like the majority of these and just kind of scroll through the images trying to get a feel for the form, I think that the one on the right is going to be my choice. Yeah, because they all have kind of the shape and the canopy of it is more in line with this. So yeah, so I'll just go over here and I'll delete this one, use my select tool, and that way I can just kind of scoot it over here. And there's my maple Ganali flame. I suppose that's how you say that. All right, and then let's do one more, blue Avena oatgrass. So then I would just keep this window open over here, and I would type in blue Avena oatgrass, and it already comes up. And what does that look like? Now this, I know we have something that's, you know, spot on inside of Lumion. So for this one, I would go back over here to my place tool, and this one I would probably start my grasses. Yeah, look at that, like blue fescue, and you know, it's Avena grass blue. I mean, it's just kind of like a simple grass. Yeah, this one kind of like just shoots straight out. It doesn't really sag, although that looks pretty darn close to what I'm seeing. So, you know, I'm pretty happy with that one. So like, let's go over here. And so that blue Avena oatgrass is pointing at these guys. So, you know, maybe I'll just kind of place a few right there, and you can just kind of trace them along. And this is the way that I kind of sort out, you know, visually organize my files so that I'm, you know, kind of checking off the different pieces that I need and just fill them in. And then, you know, once we get all these guys filled in, we'll make sure to copy them over here, because I'm sure we have some, you know, the same plants happening on this side as well. So, all right, we'll see. I'll keep kind of narrating and talking through this, and if it's not so interesting, we'll just chop it out and make sure that you have that group that you can load up. We'll include a link the group that you can download in the description, and maybe we'll throw a card on here as well. So anyway, let's just keep running through this. I'm gonna grab the rest of these trees and with the exact same process. If you like this video, click the BD button to subscribe to our channel. Every week we post new videos covering SketchUp, Layout, Lumion, and our Condoc Tools extension. If you are a professional architect or interior designer, you're going to love our tutorials.